Hey, this is Catherine, and welcome to the Beyond Zero tidbit from the Matrix Guard. Today, it's all about core values, what they are, how they boost your well-being. We uncover what your core values are, and also I provide a tool to help you stay in alignment with them so that your authenticity isn't compromised. So without further ado, let's just dive in. Core values, they're personal qualities that are most important to you. They're the values you prioritize above all else. So they're the ones that when you don't uphold them, your life doesn't work so well. They're attributes like honesty, love, achievement, freedom, bravery. There's a lot of them. And one way that we can power up our well-being is by clarifying and then honoring our core values. So with this video and the accompanying worksheet, you can unpack what your core values are, discover what they are, connect with them, and by the end, you'll have a list of 3 to 5. But why do this work? Because there are substantial values to doing it. Core values, they help you, I mentioned this a little, I hinted at this earlier, but they help you be in integrity with ourselves, with our authenticity. And authenticity is crucial to well-being and also having thriving relationships. By asking the question, does this align? So it also helps you make it helps you make tough decisions. So you can ask yourself, okay, does this choice align with my core values? And when it doesn't, you don't have to make that choice, right? You can start making choices depending on what your core values are. Okay, so third, often the cause of our dissatisfaction is because we are in some way unaligned with what's most important to us, like our core values. So the values offer clues to experiencing more and more satisfaction in our lives. 4, goal setting will be more powerful because we'll be able to set goals based on our core values, not on what we think we should do or what we think other people think we should do, right? 5 is that we shift our mindsets away from mistakes and failures, because when a decision is in alignment with our core values, or a goal is in alignment with our core values, we will always get value in return, even when we don't succeed at what we're going for. When we consistently honor our core values, we feel more fulfilled. When we don't honor them, we're gonna feel less fulfilled, and we're more likely to self-sabotage and engage in habits that aren't good for our well-being. And lastly, core values, they help us choose which calls to adventure from, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey are really part of our hero's journey and which aren't. So we all have these moments of inspiration where we're like, yes, this is something I want to do. Or, wow, this is such a good idea. I wonder if I should do it. So core values help us determine which of those inspiring life journeys are in alignment with what we really are, the best parts of ourselves, or what we really, really want and value in ourselves and in life. So it helps with a lot of clarity. So some points to keep in mind as we uncover your core values: you get to choose them. And they're going to grow and they're going to change with you over time. And there is a type of value that doesn't give the benefits that I've just mentioned, and those are fear-based values. And these are values you feel like you should hold sacred because of something you learned growing up or an experience that you've had. And we all have fear-based values that really are a result of our upbringing. But we are more likely to thrive in life when we are able to move away from those fear-based values to values that inspire and motivate us and our true core values. So as you go through this worksheet, trust your instincts on whether a value is fear-based, and when it is, consider not selecting it as one of your core values. And here's a hint: if you have a lot of judgment around a value, it's just kind of it's swirling or it's wrapped up and it just feels heavy or really, really complicated, chances are that's a fear-based value. All right, so here we go. Choosing your core values. Keep in mind that your core values, they will inspire. They're going to spark you. They're going to speak to you. They're going to motivate you. And yes, they will change over your life. However, they tend to be rather long-lasting. So if you think a value might change in a week or two, it's not a core value. So I've provided a link to a list of core values. Definitely reference it and use it for ideas. You're going to generate a lot of core values. Some people like have 30 or 40 at the beginning. By the end, you'll have 3 to 5. Okay, so go ahead and open that link if you want to do it. I'm probably going to go too fast for you to do the exercise now, but you can definitely reference it as I walk you through the exercise. So the first thing is that you want to think about a time in your life when everything was at its best. Chances are it felt good because some or all of your core values were being honored. So once you have that moment, what values do you think were being expressed? And reference that list to help. So for an example, when I was acting in my second horror movie, I was in sheer heaven because it was a combination of 2 of my most important values, which are connection and adventure. So that's kind of how I unpack that one. The second part of the exercise is now you want to think of a time when life was not good. You did not feel good, you were not thriving. And you want to ask yourself what was going on and what were you feeling? Because chances are certain values that are very important to you were being challenged at that time. So this is a little bit more of a light example, but I tend to get really angry when I'm in my car and I see a reckless driver because it's jeopardizing my core value of vitality by putting my life in danger. So then step 3 is you want to ask yourself, what must you absolutely experience in life? What core values do you think drive this importance? And one way to get into this is to also ask yourself, what can I not live without? Or if I don't have this, my life doesn't work. So for an example, I must experience connection with other people, because without it, I feel lost and my life starts to have little meaning. Without connection to people or even animals, my life just doesn't work and I'm really miserable. I must also have adventure because when I don't feel like I'm growing, I actually feel like I'm dying. It's a miserable experience to go through. So once again, my life becomes meaningless and I start to lose purpose. So again, I'm going really fast through this just so you get kind of a feel for it. You can do the work on your own time outside of the video. So the next question is, at this point, you could really have 10 to 40 values from the first 3 questions. And that's really too many to help you. And think about the core value list is they're all wonderful attributes. Like we kind of love them all, right? And whittling down all of these good things to just 3 to 5 is challenging. So the way to work with your list when it's from all those values whittled down to 10 to 40 is you want to batch similar values into a group or a category. And then you want to name the central theme of each group. And that theme is what becomes your core value. So you want to get down to 3 to 5 core values. And if that's still hard after you've batched them and you've unlocked their category name and that's become your core value, you still have more than 3 to 5, really just dig really deep and ask yourself which is the most essential to your life, which motivates you or inspires you the most. 3 to 5 is what people mostly find ideal, and that's because anything less than 3 and it's really too few to capture what's really important to you. And more than 5 is too many, and you start to lose track of them and you forget to honor them. So what are yours? And when you have them, you want to rank them in order of importance, especially if you have more than 3. I gotta tell you, I had such a hard time getting mine down to 3, but I did it. Connection, adventure, and vitality. Whew. It was really hard. My favorite is the bonus exercise, and it's basically where you take each of your core values and you turn it into an inspiring short sentence. I like to do mine in the form of a toast. So for example, my core value of connection, I translated into here's to loving unconditionally and sharing my authentic self. My core value of adventure became here's to always going there and back again. Fans of The Hobbit will know what I'm talking about. And then my core value of vitality became here's to living fully with zest. So I do this because mine came from having to batch them and pull a category name. And by writing a toast, it allowed me to pull some of those batched values and wrap them in again to my value of connection. So for me, in my connection like category, I had love and I had authenticity. And those are two really important values to me. So I just turned them into a toast that honors connection. Right? So that's what I did. It was really, really helpful. And I think you'll really enjoy doing this work. And definitely you can always give me feedback at info@thematrixguard.com. And until next time, you guys, stay true and never settle. Thank you so much for your time, and it's an immeasurable gift. Bye.